In this video, I'm going to cover the framework in order to heal from sexual trauma. Our sexual energy is our raw creative energy, and this is the core and the foundation of our power. Whenever we reclaim this energy and we integrate it back into our being, then we have reclaimed our right to say no and a right to say yes to the things that we want to create in life. Now, I'm going to cover what constitutes a sexual trauma, what is the healing framework and the different steps that a person goes through whenever they're healing from this, and also how to reframe and reclaim your power so you can actually create and begin living a life that feels safe and beautiful and divine for you. Now, to set the groundwork for this discussion, I like to cover what is sexual trauma. So trauma is the response, the emotional response that we had towards a traumatic event. And a traumatic event, it's something that we experienced that left a very strong emotional reaction, negative emotional reaction in our being. Once we understand this, we can understand that it doesn't necessarily mean that it had to be a physical attack or rape or molestation. Sexual trauma can be created whenever we experience something that did not feel good, that left a very emotional reaction, even if there was no physical touch there. So for example, if you were looked at in a way that was very inappropriately as a child when you were naked, that can create that very negative emotional response in your being. And then therefore there is a form of sexual trauma there because you felt that the energy wasn't good. There was something about it that didn't feel comfortable and safe. Another example could be if you didn't want to be intimate with someone, but then it was safer for you to say yes than to say no, or you were afraid of saying no because you didn't know how the person was going to react, so you convinced yourself that you were going to be intimate with this person. That can leave a traumatic response in the body because the body didn't want to have that experience, yet somehow it was received. So a lot of the times we can justify these behaviors and put the blame onto ourselves as to, well, I shouldn't have been there and I wore this, or I agreed to go to this person's house or whatever. And for as long as we do that, there isn't the opportunity for healing. And in order for us to heal, we need to acknowledge what happened and reconnect with our innocence. Know that we didn't know that we were doing the best that we could in that moment, and it is not our fault. And I'm not trying here to find who's the guilty party or not. The goal here is for you to heal from it, for you to release yourself from that emotional imprint, from that traumatic event, so you can reclaim your sexuality and your power and create the life that you want to create.